Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Scorpio. And of course, always a big welcome to those who felt like this constellation has a message for them as well. The sun is highlighting you, my dear Scorpio, that has now the moon in your sign. And the subconscious is letting you know that going deep within through Virgo, who is holding the lantern and who is holding the six-pointed star here, is letting you know, please look deep within you and see what it is that you gotta still learn in this dimension, because I mean, this is what it's all about. We're learning here, and here are the problems, and here are the ups and downs. And if I drive my bicycle, I cannot push down unless the other foot comes up, and when I walk, the same thing. And so one foot is up and one foot is on earth, and that's the deeper understanding of what's at the core, that duality is giving us always the option to be cyclical. Otherwise it's stagnant, it stops. And so here Virgo is helping you through the sun, through that masculine energy, to look deep within and be like, what do I want? How much more do I want to learn about duality, transformation, deep transformation? Because when you look at it, he's looking at the big cycle, the 25,800 year cycle. The earth spins to the left, and he's in the small cycle, which is the 365 days. Why? Because we all die. Death is something that is very clearly here, imminent to us. And in the big cycle, it's the soul cycle. It's the cycle that we're learning the most through the small cycle, and then we can come into the big. Mountain pose for Virgo. Again, I'm back like the fool up in the mountain, and I have learned whatever I have learned, and now I can look at my future and my past self through the spine that is giving birth already to the future self. You are then here, Scorpio. The biggest transformation is letting go of that part of us that says, well, I know, and I've seen it, and I've done it. And we have to learn to each time let go of the mind, of the ego, that things that knows everything, and we cannot know everything. It's impossible in this world, right? So then the court card for you is the King of Cups. You sit in the middle of the ocean. Sometimes it's lonely there, because who can come there? Only monsters and people who have a ship. And here you are, sometimes solitary, and yeah, you gotta be careful that you're not dropping too deep into the emotions. If your birthday is between October 13 and November 12, this is your court card. If not, look in the description below. I have listed all the cards that I'm using, and of course all the court cards with the dates. The last reading, where the sun was in Leo, the 3x6 portal brings you back to you. You had 2 times the 6 of earth, this understanding of giving and taking. If I want to give, I need a hand that's there, right? And it's interesting, because then the eagle in the center that is letting you know there is a higher consciousness bringing you into the infinite cycle of that perspective of giving and taking. And so this is a mutable sign, and you are a fixed sign. And fixed means that we sometimes get quite fixed in the way we think, in the way we act, in the way we do things. And so Virgo is helping you to see things from a different perspective. Because if I put you here, right, if I do the big circle, then comes, you know, the Fool, etc., 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's like you wouldn't even connect with Virgo. It's almost like you're back on back. And in the small cycle, it's Virgo, and then comes again in this direction, then you. And here in the big cycle, from here, there is the chance for you to speak with each other. This is the only way. The soul connection can only speak here, because you are facing this way. You're not looking that there is a big circle. And so Virgo is letting you know there's a big cycle, there's a soul cycle, there is a deeper awareness that you can reach through the soul. And that's all there is, right? In the end, it's like, how can we grow? How can we shift? How can we become more aware in this ever-changing and shifting world? How? By looking deeper within. And so on the position of the Fool comes here Justice, the number 8 in the Visconti Sforza Tarot. Some put it on the position of 11. And so you are sitting here realizing that the infinite 8, 2 times the 0 in a way, that the infinite 8 is letting you know there is a justice in this world, there is a balance. And for me, the word justice is always a little weird, because when we think we have the title to say this is just and this is not just, then we put ourselves in a superior position, and we cannot do that, because there is no justice in this nature. Nature isn't just. Nature is just the way it is. The nature is. And the word that's more connected with this card, which is Libra, is harmony and preciseness. An extreme preciseness that says, well, if I want to come really in the center, I have to be absolutely still. Now you see how here is a horse jumping over her head. Into which direction? The direction of the small cycle. So you are realizing something, because on the position of the Magician comes now the Hunter, the number 27. You go from 8 to 9. If we go the big circle from right to left, and the Hunter is the one that is searching and looking, and also looking in this direction, and it's almost like the person that is looking here into this card is saying, I'm searching for something. I want to jump. I want to jump. I want to search for something that's not just. So the Hunter usually is the hunter-gatherer generation. And that generation is learning to survive in what they find. And here you are using this energy to find what is not in balance. It's almost like you gotta maybe let go of that, and you see how the bear is looking into the big cycle. And the bear usually is kind of asleep. The bear is the one that has the long winter sleep. Nevertheless, he's looking in that direction. And always remember the infinite 8 is above here in the Magician. And here was the 8 in this card. On the position of the High Priestess comes the Hierophant with the Hermetic Tarot. And so the journey continues. The journey continues to go into Taurus. Taurus is the banks, is the institution. Taurus is that part that is the most fixed, the most rooted, the most grounded. And we can see that you are learning to go in the other direction, because the first 4 cards, which have no zodiac signs in it, I read from right to left, and then I go from left to right. So have a look. Have a look at Taurus. Have a look at things that are these institutions that are also through the church very much connected. A spiritual path, the high priest, on the position of the high priestess. So the masculine and the feminine are able to come together through the black and white. And again, that's exactly what I say. It's this like finding your balance between the two scales. And it's really about the dualities. It's about the scales is the yin and the yang, the male and the female. And I don't say positive and negative because the negative has too much of a strong negative connotation. And the positive is too positive. So I don't like to use that as the explanation for it. It's more an equilibrium of two that need each other. And I think you are about to learn that, because now on the position of the Empress comes again the Justice. So you have twice Justice. Now this is very interesting because in the German reading I had at the same position twice the Tower, and now comes twice the Justice. And both of them have the number 8, the position number 8. And some have shifted it to 11 then later on, because it's Libra, and Libra comes after Virgo. And of course in between is the Wheel of Fortune, the number 10. So the 11 is for the more newer cards, the card number 11. And in the older one, it's the card number 8. So the 8-8 portal is telling you there is a new way of thinking. Or actually there is this old way of thinking. There is this traditional way of thinking. That things have to be just. That we are still judging people as that, well, that's not just. And who can be just? So when we bring the word harmony or preciseness, who can really be 100% harmonious? Who can be really 100% precise? Not many. Then justice. How can you tell others, well, I'm 100% just? And when you say there is the word just, then you actually create people who are not just. Now on the position of the Aries, the Emperor, comes the 5 of Wands, which is Saturn in Leo. There comes like a battle, there comes like something that we work on, there comes something that we figure out. And the interesting thing is then in the position of the Hierophant is coming the Page, and you have the Hierophant. On the High Priestess comes the one page out of all these 5, comes one out and saying, well, I'm gonna continue my path. And so I see you also continuing your path forward in this cycle, hopefully knowing that there is another path, hopefully knowing that you have learned here that there is another path. And action driven. Here this testing between the youth, they want to know. The 5 is always test. But here they test each other in a very playful way. But something you don't want to be tested anymore. And you are saying, I'm going forward. I don't want to be here anymore. Because I have understood something. Now what was really interesting is that I, by mistake, picked up a German card, and I realized, oh, this is the German deck in this deck, and then I picked a one in the English one. And so the German deck came out 9 of Swords, and in the English one came the High Priestess on the position of Gemini. And this is very interesting because Gemini, this card is Mars in Gemini, and Mars really moved into Gemini. And Mars in Gemini is like sleepless nights, thinking about the problems, thinking about what should I have done differently, and really having a difficult time. But you see also this one bird above her. And the only way to come out of this kind of thinking, right, is by taking action to move on, to move forward, and to realize that on the position of the High Priestess came Taurus, right? And here Taurus is the one that starts moving forward. And so now here on the position of Gemini, so Mars in Gemini is saying, yes, there is something that can unbalance you, because Mars is the warrior. Mars is the one that starts all these battles in the Emperor, in the one that has quite power. And one is saying, no, I don't want that anymore, because there's a spiritual opening that happened through the combination of the High Priestess and the Hierophant and the High Priest, the masculine and the feminine united. And that spiritual message was already quite clear. And that's the only way how we can then, through the High Priestess, come into our center and understand that this situation that's happening, truly happening right now up in the sky, is the only way out, is through the High Priestess, is through meditating, is through looking deep within. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this one, but I found it very interesting that came up the way it came up. And now comes on the position of Cancer, comes the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups is Mars in Pisces. And so to counterbalance this one, Mars in Gemini, and now Mars in Pisces, is the emotional connection, is when we connect that the emotions that we experience here in this small cycle, because she's facing this way, the emotions that we are experiencing here are here to give us a deeper meaning. The emotions that you feel when you are deep in the ocean, and the ocean is deep. The ocean is so deep. I mean, it's like, and so Pisces is the only one that can feel comfortable in there. And the Ten of Cups is quite a satisfaction. A satisfaction that highlights you in the pattern of the Tree of Life, the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Aleister Crowley coming here and giving you the power to, when you meditate, then you can see the stream of consciousness coming down here to you. Because on the position of Leo comes then the World, the number 21, the 3. The world will feel that you have come to this place, and then a new world is born. And this is what the beautiful thing is about, is when we change our energy within, then everything around us changes as well. It cannot be the other way around. We cannot say this out there has to change. This has to change, that I feel this. Now, I have to come into this consciousness. I have to come here into the High Priestess, feel a satisfaction, and then the world will change around me. Okay? And so, interesting enough, you have a 9 portal, and it's saying, well, remember the hunter, remember the one that is searching constantly for things that are not just, is creating problems in your life. very clearly, because Mars is the hunter, Mars is the warrior, and Mars in Gemini is too many thoughts, too much thinking, too much problems that you think are part of your lifestyle. But you have the 9-9 portal that is saying you 2 times the creativity to find through the High Priestess, which is a 2, the creativity to find a peacefulness that makes you understand, oh, okay, that's how it's done, that's how we work. In me I find the peacefulness, in me I find the High Priestess, and he is the one that is going towards that. He separated himself from the 5. He separated himself from the 5 and saying, I want to move forward because the world will be different when I am different. Whatever is happening within me, however much I tame this wild side in me, then the world will be tamed as well. It's all from the inner state to the outer state. Then the world is yours. And on the position of Virgo comes now the invitation to go this path, to go into this path, and see that the 3 of Swords, this calculated together, the 21 is a 3 as well, so you have a 3-3 portal. And the 3-3 portal is saying be creative in the way you find solutions that then help you to find the pain that this world is going through, the world pain. And this is Saturn in Libra. Saturn in Libra is a deep pain in the heart, in our emotions. And so learn through the swords, learn the equilibrium, learn to come from justice, and learn again from justice. Always learn from justice that there is no justice. When the world is suffering, it is a state of consciousness that is coming from deep within each individual that is looking at the world and saying, we're suffering. It's not good. People who have created a higher consciousness within them, they don't see the suffering. They don't see it. And so, on the Wheel of Fortune comes now the voyage, the new direction that you're going. The number 45, the wheel is spinning. The number 45, so you have 3 times 9. And 3 times 9 is the power to know that completion is always happening deep within you. And this is exactly what Virgo is giving you. Virgo is saying, look in this way. Look in this way, even though the journey continues in this way, because that's the way the wind is blowing. So we read it this way. We read it into the small cycle, not from here to here, the big one. And here you learn to see that you are in this position. Now, if you're in the big circle, you would be here. But I put you here because that's the 10, the Wheel of Fortune is going this way, so you're also looking in this way. So here it is, it's going in the direction of the small circle, and you're going a new path, the number 9, the new direction. You know that the new direction is necessary, and you are on it. Then on the position of justice or preciseness or harmony comes Taurus. And Taurus is, as we know, already on the position of the High Priestess. speaking to you. Now here he looks in the big cycle. He looks straight at us. And justice, you had twice justice saying, well, there has to be a deeper look into all these old religions, into these institutions, because they're outdated. They're not functioning anymore. They're shifting and they're changing. They need to go into a new direction. And so if we read the cycle the other way, it's not working. As you can see, the wind is not blowing this way, the wind is blowing this way. So this is on the small circle. Because then comes on the position of the Hanged Man, the crystal of the green Seriphos quartz. And the green Seriphos quartz is saying, take life as it is, having fun in life, and to accept your place in this world, heaven on earth, what needs to be. So you really learning strongly that the path is blowing you into the right direction. It's really interesting. It looks like a hand, right? So it's almost like you went further, and this is month October, Libra. There is again a deeper look at this energy, and then it's almost like saying stop now. Now stop. Stop, because who is coming? You. And on your position comes the Seven of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Taurus. And we had before Taurus, we have Taurus twice, so there is something shifting. There is a perspective shifting, that you're looking at your life, and that's why the stop the hand is here to say stop. Stop and dive deeper and have a look, and stop and have a look at what you have done, how you have done it, and why you have done it the way you have done it. And the Seven is always a little bit a higher test, a spiritual test, coming to you in the small cycle, coming to you and letting you know, yeah, have a look, have a deeper look, and see that the hand is saying stop. Stop here and look. Because then comes again the Three of Swords with the guardian angel, a guardian angel which is Sagittarius, and the Three of Swords here in the native Indian deck is saying listen to your heart. Here I would say this is the Lord of Sorrow. This is the Lord that is also a world pain, a deep pain that we experience in the world. But nevertheless, it's also your heart that feels that pain out there. And here comes it again. So you have a 3-3-3 portal with the world, with the Three of Swords, and then again the Three of Swords. 3 times 3 is the power to know that I can do something about it, that I can change something about it, that the error goes here in this direction, but the buffalo knows that there is a bigger cycle. The same way here, the bear knows that there is a bigger cycle, and she's looking in this direction. And the error, it's almost like the hunter was pushing the error in this direction. But the buffalo is looking at her and saying, oh yeah, you want to shoot me? You want to really shoot me? And she's looking at us. Wow, interesting, you see that? So, yeah, there is something happening. Listen to your heart. Here you didn't really listen to your heart, but now you really, really got to listen to your heart. Because you took the chance to take a new path in this dimension. And the only way then that we learn how to use our emotions in a way that are not holding us back is through meditation. And that we're looking at the 3 cups, but we always have 1 cup deep within us. We have that heart. And the attachment that Capricorn is bringing, a natural attachment to the cycles of dark and light, male and female, is being transcended by looking deep within into the 4. And the 4 is then saying, yes, meditate, really deeply meditate, because these tests are here. They're here to test you, that's all. And the Hierophant is the masculine spiritual teacher. And this is a masculine trait to test yourself with others. And of course on the 9, knowing that the 9-9 energy with the Virgo is learning the completion, learning to look at it and see that if you not hunting again and again for the next new thing, arriving and really feeling the stillness in the meditation. When we meditate, again, remember, we feel way more than if we are constantly in action and in chatter and in thinking. These are swords, this is thoughts that make you feel like that. And you did learn the fact that you are here now in a new direction, looking at it and saying, yes, I gotta go, I gotta move on, I gotta shift, I gotta change from this perspective. And again, the only way to really do that is through meditation. Through the High Priest that knows, like, go deep within, go into that stream of consciousness where the cup is, where the wand is, where the sword is, where the coin is. Learning from there. Because then on the Tower position comes the frog, and the frog is saying, yeah, if I connect with this, then I can move on. Then I get the clearing rain coming down. Here they're falling down, and the rain is coming down, and I can heal myself. The frog is an amphibia, is born in the water, lives mostly in the water, and water is your element. You are in the middle of the ocean, and that's good. That these kind of emotional energies exist, so that we can see that there are people who are completely different in the way they live their lives. Nevertheless, make sure that you're not consumed by it. Make sure that you're not lonely by it here in the middle of the ocean. And now comes Aquarius, the moon. Aquarius and the moon is a very interesting combination, because the Aquarian is a star and the moon is actually has no light in itself and needs a star to get the light, which is the sun. And the star is a sun. And our sun here is a dwarf star. So in the month Aquarius, you gotta realize again through the moon, through that deeper look deep within, that in the meditation of the moon is the understanding that everything is shifting and changing always, that you're learning, and that you're going healed into a new phase, a phase that brings the Aquarius energy to you through the moon. Looking at the moon, understanding the moon, and connecting with the moon, because then comes the moon. And on the moon, we have the number 46 is the root girl, the disowned self you will find in the moon. The disowned self is that you let go of too many things that you thought that you had to do. And here you are now realizing, okay, the number 46, the number 10, there's no other 10. Okay, no other 10, the first 10. 10 is the new cycle, so find your new self, that part that you let go when you were a child, when you were hurt. Now find it and own it. And so if we read, right, Aquarius to Pisces, it's the small cycle, and now we're going the other way. We read it from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is a very specific time frame where the moon is helping us to find ourselves again. Find ourselves deeply. Find ourselves in such a way that then the sun that is coming after the moon is saying, through your breath you understand the loop. Through your breath you understand that everything is coming and going. Through the 8 loop that has come up as the 0. The justice. Again, justice. We don't have a just world out there. Nature's not just. Nature is not saying, oh well, I'm only gonna do an earthquake to those people who are really bad. It doesn't have that concept. Concept of nature is order and disorder. That's all. And so if you want to come out, you got to find the in and the exhale, the breath, the life of coming out of the moon, of this disowned self, and liberate yourself. You see how she's like coming out and is actually looking in this direction. And it's the 27, so you're hunting for that part within you that is disowned. You're hunting for the breath. You're hunting for things that make sense to you, but certain things just don't make sense, and you gotta let go. And so if we put Aquarius here, right, then it's the moon that is bringing you into this feeling. And you see how here is a half moon, and she's almost creating with the dress also a moon. It's the moon. The moon is very important. The moon, the subconscious, the dark side. Again and again, it's like, what's so wrong with dark? That's where we put the seed in. That's where we 9 months in the womb of the mother. We're in the dark. And so then goes the path this way. Again, from right to left comes the inspiration, the judgment, which again is for me a word that I don't like to use. Comes now the position of confidence. A confidence that says, know and feel this affirmation beyond a doubt. I am all that I need to get what I want. The number 77. And on your position you had a 7. So you know that the 777 portal, 3 times 7, and last time you had 3 times 6. Now you have 3 times 7. So it's almost like you realized something. It's almost like, yes, you realized something. You realized that certain things gotta shift and gotta change and gotta go, so that I can go forward and explore this world anew, completely new. Because then on the position of the world comes then the 10 of Wands, the 10 of inspiration. And we had a 10. And you see the red, and you see the 10 of inspiration is actually talking always about doing too much. Saturn in Sagittarius. Then you can let go of the fact that you think you did so much. You deserve what you have, and you deserve to judge others, because then this will be the next, then the cycle will close itself. And that's just not the way it works. She's looking over, but her physical body is this way, and yes, you are still in this way. And because you've done so much, and you look over to the Fool who's saying, yeah, I'm gonna continue my path. And you look over and you realize, okay, this is important for me to understand the two cycles, the physical and the soul cycle. And the soul cycle always goes from right to left. And the soul cycle also understands that no matter how much I've done, I come to the 10 and I'm going to go to a new cycle, because this is on the position of 0. And it's the 8, the infinite 8 here, and giving you the direction. It's very powerful, because you start realizing, don't do more, do less. And of course, this is really letting you know, okay, you gotta stop doing too much, do less. Because doing less is then going forward, and doing less is actually also realizing there's no justice. There's no one here to judge no one. There just is harmony, disharmony, preciseness. And how precise can you be? How much can you hold quietly the scale? Barely anyone can hold the scale in their own hands and say, I make it completely still and quiet. Because we always move a little. We always move. No one moves. Not. I mean, then you be dead. And then you're dead. Which is here the 7 of Pentacles on your position. Then you would be dead. So you're learning deep understanding to let yourself not be spiritually oppressed as well. Come into your power through the High Priestess, and come into your true power, that this world can see who you truly are. And knowing that the meditation is the one way to understand all of this. There's no other way than that. Heal yourself, right? Remember that healing comes sometimes suddenly. Certain things break apart and we fall, and then we need to heal. And in that healing time, we start realizing things, because we cannot continue the way we used to continue. And this is what Virgo is bringing to you. Virgo is letting you know, hey, take a moment. And she's telling, or Virgo is telling you, hey, take a moment. Be quiet and feel the light that you are searching in the outer world. Feel the light within you. Because you have a 9. 9. 9. 9. You have, this was 7, 7. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 9. The power to speak about your transformation, the power to speak about your endless hunting and searching for problems, for these difficult situations. Right, the lady here sitting and being not very happy. And then going and changing the path, being stopped by the moon and becoming the moon yourself, and seeing that the breath is connecting you into the infinite cycle of everything comes and goes, everything is shifting. Because the age of Aquarius is here. The age of Aquarius is speaking to us very clearly and saying, yes, we gotta shift our perspective, we gotta look at things in a completely different way. If we don't do it, we're just gonna be left behind, and the world will move on. The world will move on. And there will always be difficulties in this world. There will always be strong difficulties in this world. It just depends how you see it, how you grow with it, how you adapt with the 777. Right? Have a confidence that I am all that I need to get what I want. So, I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when the Earth is turning in such a way that we see behind the Sun Libra, and on Libra comes Taurus, the Hierophant, the position of the spiritual messenger. Are you a spiritual messenger? Do you feel like being a spiritual messenger? Well, we're gonna see in the next reading. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.